I used to believe betrayal was something that happened to other people. The kind of horror story you heard secondhand, the kind of gossip whispered in offices and family circles. Never mine, never us. My wife, Anaya, and I had been together for 8 years, married for 5. We were expecting our first child and the very thing we'd been dreaming about for years. When she announced her pregnancy, I thought life couldn't get any better. But I was wrong. The signs began subtly, almost invisible against the backdrop of everyday life. Anaya was moody, yes, but pregnancy explained that. She was tired, withdrawn, often glued to her phone, but I chalked it up to hormones and the stress of carrying our child. What I didn't know then was that she wasn't just carrying my child, she was carrying secrets. The truth slapped me in the face one ordinary evening. I came home early from work, hoping to surprise her with takeout and spend a quiet night together. When I walked in, the house was silent, but her phone was buzzing on the counter. I wasn't the type to snoop, at least not until that night. But something compelled me. Maybe it was the way she always kept her phone upside down. Maybe it was the little laugh she gave whenever she was texting someone late at night. So I picked it up. One glance at the screen was enough to shatter me. Messages. Flirty, suggestive messages. From a number I recognized immediately. It was Rajiv, my so-called friend, a man I had known for years, who had eaten at our table, played cards in our living room, and even congratulated us when we announced the pregnancy. I scrolled further, my hands shaking. The texts were explicit. Plans to meet at a hotel. Conversations about her body, about the baby, my baby, and what they would do after she gave birth. One line burned into my brain. He's too blind to notice anything. We'll keep this up until you're ready to tell him the truth. I felt sick. My ears rang. My legs almost gave out. For a few minutes, I just stood there in my own kitchen, reading over and over, hoping that somehow I had misunderstood. But I hadn't. My pregnant wife, the woman I adored, the woman I trusted completely, was cheating on me with one of the men I had trusted most. When Anaya came home later that night, she found me sitting at the table, her phone in my hand. She froze, color draining from her face. "Where were you?" I asked quietly. "At the doctor's," she stammered. I held up her phone, the screen glowing with her betrayal. "Really?" Her eyes filled with tears. She knew she was caught. "It's not what you think," she whispered. "Those words, they're always the first defense. And they're always a lie. I didn't yell. I didn't curse. I just stared at her. "Tell me, Anaya. Tell me how long you've been sleeping with Rajiv. Tell me why you chose him. Out of everyone in the world, him." She broke down then, sobbing, confessing in broken pieces. It had started months ago before she got pregnant. She claimed it was a mistake, that she was confused, that Rajiv gave her attention when I was busy. Then she dropped the bomb that nearly made me collapse. She wasn't sure if the baby was mine. That was it. The moment everything inside me turned cold. I stood, walked into the bedroom, and pulled out the folder I had already prepared weeks earlier when the doubts first began gnawing at me. Divorce papers. I hadn't wanted to use them. I had prayed I wouldn't need them, but now, they were my salvation. I came back to the table and dropped them in front of her. "Sign them tonight," she gasped, clutching her stomach. "Please don't do this. Think of the baby." "I am thinking of the baby," I snapped. "If it's mine, I'll raise it. If it's not, you and Rajiv can figure that out together. But you're done. We're finished." Her sobs grew louder, desperate, but I had made up my mind. Trust is fragile. Once it's broken, it's gone forever. The next day, I confronted Rajiv. I showed him the screenshots, the texts, the dates. He didn't deny it. He just stood there smirking like he had won some prize. I punched him hard, right in the face. Years of friendship destroyed in one blow. Then I told him to stay the hell away from me, from my family, from everything I cared about. The divorce was quick. I demanded a DNA test, and the results confirmed my worst fear. The child wasn't mine. My heart broke, but at least I knew. I wasn't going to raise another man's baby while living with betrayal. Anaya moved in with her parents, disgraced and alone. Rajiv? His wife found out, and she left him too. His career took a hit when word spread through our circle about what he'd done. Karma doesn't always come fast, but this time it did, and it hit both of them hard. As for me, I rebuilt. Slowly, painfully, but with dignity. I learned that sometimes the best revenge isn't shouting or fighting, it's walking away, leaving them to drown in the mess they created. I caught my pregnant wife cheating with a man I knew well. I ended the marriage that night, and I don't regret it for a second.